This is part 2 of the conversation with Naru, Deba and Suchit. If you haven't heard part 1 yet, I recommend that you pause this right here and listen to that first. Hi everyone, I'm Bindhu and you're listening to the next episode of REConnect, the podcast that celebrates the beauty of nostalgia and the power of friendship among the RECtians. So, on today's episode, we dive deeper into how the business of Proxy was run, discover who broke 12 hacksaws during the workshop in the first year, and also understand why Suchit shaved his head in the second year. The story of Deba's first encounter with curd rice left us in splits of laughter. I really hope you enjoy listening to this.
Whenever anybody talks about Section F, Naru knows what I'm talking now. First thing that comes to my mind is a chemistry teacher, the Cinderella.
Cinderella.
Not for any bad reasons, but because he gave me a proverb or phrase rather, which I still use in today's world. I mean, I use it in every occasion whenever it is apt, and I
Warranted,
so
yeah.
much. And that phrase was
That phrase is
something
go
better
ahead.
than nothing, but nothing is better than nonsense. So, so whenever we would do some mischief or some bad answers, he will tell that. And even today, I use it like just for the heck of it. Don't do something. If you can do it well, do it. Otherwise, it's okay. You don't do it. Right? It is applicable in many places. Yeah, but that is the first memory that comes. And of course, other than that, I think that was a class where I learned how to do proxy. That was a skill I did not have till then. Obviously, I was a backbencher, and so the proxy was the thing almost became like a small business, right? So every morning before going to the class, so people will come with their request. Okay, today mine this, you are doing mine, you are doing his. How many I've got? No, I have three. I cannot do more than three, boss. You go to him. So we had a small team of backbenchers who will doing the proxy business, and we will come back and report. Okay, these many success. The success rate was fairly good only. I think 99.9% SLA we had. I think point one.
Never
I
got caught.
think I just remember any one time I had got caught, I guess. But yeah, in the entire college time.
No, I think that was the time when it was, I think, engineering drawing, Professor MNR, right? I think he doesn't take attendance.
Hmm.
And because of that, lot of you guys just tried to slip out through the back door. And then suddenly he saw half the class was empty. He got very upset. And that day he took attendance. So then it
One of my memorable experience was my first time in the workshop. Okay, and again, as I said, I joined late, and the workshop class, one class had introductory class had happened. I probably went to the second class. In the batch that I was, right, they had B1, B2 sections. Right, the batch I was the only non-Tamil speaker, right. So the workshop instructors were mostly Tamilian. They will talk in Tamil. Some of them spoke very few broken Hindi, right? There was a welding guy who used to say, "Isko aise hallu hallu pakadna." I remember that guy. Every instruction, right? They will separate me out. Okay. So I'm not a Tamilian, right? They will separate me out, somehow explain to me, and others they will very eloquently explain that. And then I kind of started feeling left out. Okay, what the heck is happening, right? So then come my first class. I was doing fitting. Fitting is where, if you remember, right, you have to take a metal block, cut a triangle into it, cut another triangle, and make a
Right.
join using hacksaw.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know how many of you know it. If you break one or two hacksaws, right, they just give you the replacement. They don't charge. But something happened. I could never get the hacksaw handle correct. I broke 12 that
12!
12. And because first one or two, or first or two, I had to sign. Every time you get a replacement, first one or two, they allow. Okay, one or two you will break anyway. For 12, I had to sign. So maybe I broke two more. So 12, I had to sign. And next month in my mess bill, I had to pay 24 rupees. because so the damage goes beyond certain, they start charging. So that's my first day at workshop. Something that made me again realize, am I in the right place? Would I be able to do this ever in my life? So that I think subsequent years when I started doing really well in the lab as compared to theory, that feeling went away. But yeah, the first lab, right, real lab I am facing, I'm wearing some weird khaki dress and 12 hacksaws I have broken. My batch, I mean, people who are doing it with me are laughing at me. I'm like, what the heck am I doing here, right? That was my first. Right?
Interesting.
So that's something workshop experience. One of I think I heard you guys also talk about it, right?
Yes,
That was my
yes,
first.
yes. Workshop for me was like, what am I doing here? What did I sign up for?
What did I say? I thought I'm doing electronics engineering, right? I was thinking, when are they going to give me some EG circuits and all to work on, man? What is all this Smithy foundry? How do you do this?
And then there was a uniform for that also, right? Some khaki thing.
Yes.
There's a khaki.
That
We used
was
to wear a
also,
khaki and black leather shoes.
hmm.
Black leather shoes
Yeah.
and khaki.
But I think
When,
Naru,
when
all the 4 years in prod, you would have had the khaki uniform.
Yeah, yeah, we have it
And
for
what
all
was
four
what
years.
did I
civil?
Yeah.
remember? Mechanical also.
Civil
Civil
also,
also
you
had
also had, no?
Had what?
Khaki uniform. Sorry,
the
yeah, that
khaki
uniform.
uniform, the labs.
Not all the time. Only for
No, yeah, you
But you
had.
had to wear,
I
right?
remember.
You had some labs in second or third year also where you had to wear khaki, right?
labs.
Survey and all that,
I
you
think
guys
you
used to
did.
wear.
Yeah, for
I
labs.
think you did. Yes, I think you did.
I hardly remember any of those classes actually. What we did after first year. First year I remember, but after that I think we went into some kind of a trance. I think remaining three.
Trans. Trans is the right word to describe it. Yes. Trans.
Go ahead and describe your
See,
your trance,
another.
Suchit. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. So another like sigh of relief, right? It was a. I mean, amid all these things, adversities I faced in the beginning, there was a sigh of relief. See, I had always heard about ragging stories from the colleges in Odisha, which Suchit told are in a different level, right? Now these guys have to be in the formals all the time. So when I say formals, like white full sleeve shirts, trousers tucked in, belt in place, and shoes all the time. Even at the night when your seniors come to rag you, you are supposed to be in that shoes, right? That what came as a sigh of relief is our ragging dress code, right? Which somebody has tuned to the weather nicely. Okay, so loose hanging shirt, bathroom slippers, some cotton trousers. Yeah, that was a relief. I mean, all this. I, I had heard stories from my some of my people I knew from engineering colleges. How the heck would you manage in this weather that kind of clothes, right? And yes, so luckily that came as a relief amid all the tension of ragging. That was a relief. Acha, we can dress like a typical about it.
I think the dress code, I think, kind of stayed with us for all 4 years. I think
Yeah, yeah, absolutely,
I mean, I
absolutely.
barely wore shoes only on rare
Yeah,
occasions,
correct.
as I said, the labs and stuff like that, and maybe one of the freshie and farewells. Otherwise, it was like chappals.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we graduated from bathroom slippers, but I think many of us still continued with that
Yeah, yeah.
all the 4 years. So,
It probably continues till now. I mean, I still find dressing up for an occasion a pain. I mean, that REC spirit
yeah,
is deeply ingrained, right? So,
correct, correct. I think the first year also we had that yellow bag we had to carry, right? I think
yeah,
Yellow bag for what?
that was it. To carry when if you go to class, the as part of the dress code, I think shirt out, no t-shirts. Even if they are t-shirts, you should not wear collared t-shirts. I think those things continued. I think till the end of the first year. Then yeah, no belt, Hawaii
yeah.
chappals, and that yellow that they give na tambul
Uh,
bags.
that's what you all
That
had to
give na
carry? I
cloth
don't
bags.
remember
So
this.
those,
Okay. Okay, so now that explains why everybody was dressed the way we were. Because even for us, we were told to immediately move into Hawaii chappals. Initially, I was like, what? Hawaii chappals? Who wears these kind of things to class? And then you see everybody wears that.
Yeah, that was standard, I think.
Right.
But talking of ragging, while we are on the ragging topic, I remember another interesting event. think I don't know. Mota, I was in second year. I think must have been second year when they had banned ragging very strictly, but I was caught ragging, and then the warden had
Not really ragging. You are just talking to a guy somewhere near that shopping center or something,
maybe it was
and the convener
treated
caught you.
as ragging. Then the warden had put a lookout notice for me, and I actually shaved my entire head to change my look, and then I stayed in some other's room for like a couple of days, not in my room, in Coral. This was in Coral, and then I think finally, eventually, it died down. I escaped.
He escaped actually. He was only spotted, but he didn't stay back for the teacher or the convener to come and ask him. He just ran away from there, and the convener had seen him though,
Hmm.
and he had to do this.
The
So all
change look
kind of
helped you, Sujit?
I don't know because I don't think they ever saw me. It was a backup plan because I was hiding in somebody else's room for like 2 days, and then it died down. Then after that, it might have helped because while I moved around outside, he wouldn't have recognized me again.
Do any of you remember any of the in the first year we had this intersection culturals? Did any of you take
That was
not
RECfest,
RECfest?
right?
First year was different. It was intersection.
First year different.
Yeah. Any of you remember what?
Yes.
I think F section did something good, right?
No. There was no intersection. I think if I remember right, there was this ABC were together, DEF were together, right? I think there was that. I think it was something like that. I don't think we had an A versus B versus C versus D.
There was an
We didn't have that.
intersection, is what I remember. So if you don't remember,
Okay.
then you're creating doubt
I-
for me now, Naru.
It tells you
Because
that
I
Yeah,
remember, I think it was the
Naru is the
RECfest or
reference
something.
point in this
We
topic.
had this, we had this A, B, C together, D, F together, and then all the other departments from second year onwards. I think that's how that was the first RECfest. I think the D, F sections one came second or something in one of the
Is it?
performances.
Because RECfest, I think, was inter-department, and that started only from the second year. But the first year, so we have to go back and do our homework now, Naru. We have to see now. Because I do remember this intersection. Okay, so since now we have to go do homework and come back, Naru, for next week.
Yes.
So in terms of food, hostel food,
Yeah.
how was that change
Oh.
from home food, comfort to a completely different place? Though I know now, I come to know that you, the boys had North Mess and South Mess, and you had that exquisite choice.
Not in first year,
Not
Bindhu.
in first year.
No,
Not
not in
in
first
first
year.
year, not
First
in
year there was
first
a
year.
common mess. And see, if I keep all my culture shock, right, on one side, the agate hostel mess, right? It was a real mess, right, by the way. That as the other side, right? The other part of culture shock, right? My experience, right? I had never seen curd rice in my life before I went, right? The first day my dad left, living in the college hostel, and I went for dinner. Okay. The menu was curd rice that day. Okay. And I mistook it for kheer. I mean, there was something else, right? They normally have some chapati, something, and then this curd rice. I mistook it for kheer. Being a sweet lover, I took a lot of it in my plate. Okay. And the moment I put it in my mouth, next few years I could never eat a curd rice. I mean, now I'm pretty comfortable with those kind of food, but next few years I could not eat one, right? That's how I had experience. The other thing I remember, right, in the ragging period, right? So there were 2 days in the mess, right? 2 nights. One night there just used to be pongal, two types of pongal. Naru, you can correct me wrong. There is another night every week. They used to have tamarind rice and I believe lemon rice or coconut rice. Okay. Now, normal rice, dal, chapati, I was okay, but these two I somehow could not eat. Okay. And
No.
because it was
See,
a ragging period and I really did not know what food is available outside, I could not go, right? So for me, the first 1.5, 2 months of this particular day every week was Parleji dinner, right? Daytime somehow I'll go and collect the Parleji, okay? And that will be my dinner. for the first 2 months maybe. Then I think we started exploring things and going out, right? So those two are, I think, what I distinctly remember about Agate Mess.
I think Agate Mess was by far the uh, worst of everything. I
Yeah,
think
even
that
Tamilians hated it, right? I mean, it
yeah,
was it
yeah,
was it was
and
completely
I
South
remember
Indian food,
the
but very badly made.
yeah, yeah, and I think what went for chapati was actually Malaysian imported rubber, right? It was
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
hard.
They used to call it rabati, right? It used to like stretch like this. You can actually stretch it
Stretch
like
like
this.
yeah, that was bad. And as you said, I think idlis are quite bad. I think idlis. I think from second year onwards, I think it was not even in
It will
our
get
North
better.
Indian mess. We banned it completely. Idlis were like stones, and we just couldn't digest that. I think that was. I think
And
again.
Agate
I
had
don't.
the
I don't have
problem of
any pleasant
350
memories
people,
of
right?
a great mess actually.
Yeah,
So
see, Agate had the problem of 350 people in a single mess, right? Remember, subsequent years, those same guys got split into about 4 messes each, right? Or three or
correct.
four
Two
different messes.
messes.
2 messes, yeah. So,
Mm.
so irrespective of the bad food, right? There will always be a long queue at the dinner time. Okay,
Correct.
irrespective of the bad food. So it's like, half an hour you stand in a queue, then finally eat something that is inedible. So
Then
that's what defined Agate for us, right?
there will be always those
Yeah,
kind of
and
people.
I think
Uh,
one point about Agate was I stopped complaining about my mother's cooking completely.
Absolutely. No, the tolerance about
Tolerance
food,
of
right? Good
yeah,
or bad has
yeah,
gone up.
correct.
The
yeah.
tolerance about food has gone up. I can survive anywhere literally, and I think
Yes,
agate mess, is the primary reason for that.
exactly.
See, when you look back,
And I
there are so
think
many
as
advantages.
as as a teenager, yeah, no, no, as a teenager, when you come from home, like you say that ye theek nahi hai, wo theek nahi hai. I mean, that kind of complaints about home cooking. After Agate, I think I have never complained about whoever is cooking at home. So,
Yeah, I guess it was all designed that way.
possibly.
Yes, Sujat, you were saying something.
Actually, that is true. All because the food was so bad in Agate, it actually kind of taught us how to live anywhere, right? Even if you don't get the food that you want. So it was one of those training that any person actually needs in their life, and that is the best time to get that training actually, while your body is still.
No, no, and actually, I would recommend hostel life for
Yeah.
everyone.
Absolutely.
I mean, that
Yeah.
makes people. I think I would
And
say
then
one, it
I would further
broadens
add
their
I would
outlook
further
and
I
the
would
art of
further add that
adjustment.
hostel
Right?
life outside your state,
Correct.
hostel life outside your domicile, right? It is even more
Yes.
helpful.
Exactly.
Yeah. And after that, you can survive anywhere. And we pause here. Please follow the podcast on Spotify and YouTube so that you don't miss the next episode where we discuss Culfest, Recfest, bucket parties, and the most serious business of studying for cycle tests. If this episode brought a smile to your face and you're interested in supporting this podcast, you can become part of our journey in 2 ways. Firstly, please get a few of your friends and come and share your stories with us. And secondly, you can also sponsor the podcast. Your sponsorship will help us continue to bring these nostalgic stories. So please get in touch with your department rep to get the details. So as we wrap up this episode, on behalf of the organizing committee, we request you to please register and make the payment for attending our reunion happening on campus on the 19th and 20th of December 2024. After all, REConnect is a flashback that's yours and mine. Thank you for listening and look forward to your feedback. Until the next episode, here's Bindhu signing off.